The trouble is the two sets of books. One is the appropriation allotment, and the other relates to cash. In the past, we've had a large surplus of cash. In the case when Mr. Gary went into office, there was approximately $14 million of cash on hand. We're down to $1 million. As long as we had that cash reserve, the appropriation allotment could be used as a method of bookkeeping. However, we don't have it anymore, so now we must look to the cash. And what had happened is this. The bookkeeping system, between the time a claim on a federal aid project was sent from the Highway Department to the budget officer, there became an error in the appropriation balance that arose out of field engineering, right-of-way, and contingencies in the manner it was set up on the appropriation books in the budget officer.
Let me ask you, did the budget officer and the highway director recommend against this system of bookkeeping that had been going on?
They so advised us, and in fact have given a signed statement out that they had recommended against it in the past two administrations, and the correction should be made that has now been put into force on their books. I'd like to emphasize one thing, that this does not affect the cash picture of the department in any way, but it more or less brings together this appropriation set of books and the cash set of books.
John, what were you trying to get inside that drugstore last night?
Oh, I don't know. I was knocked out. Don't remember much about it. I was drunk, silly. I don't even know what I was doing in there.
Did you have very much trouble getting in?
No, I had a pretty hard time. Finally got mad and just went on in.
How did you get in?
I don't know. I fell through a window, I think.
John, can you describe for us, if you will, what happened when you saw the police coming?
Out of state that I was, why I immediately thought that I'd better call my attorney, so I placed a call to him. And I told him I was trapped inside a drugstore, and asked him what I should do about it. And that's about the stock of it.
By the end of the fiscal year?
We estimate around $3 million in cash.
I think the best comparison that could be made would be that of the number of deaths per 100,000 vehicle per 100,000 vehicle registrations, rather. And in this regard, the figures of the Oklahoma State Highway Commission and those of the Kansas State Highway Commission indicate that there has not been a single year in the past 10 years when the number of deaths in Oklahoma per 100,000 vehicle registrations hasn't been higher than that in Kansas, a wet state. So long as we do not know how much bootleg wine and whiskey are being consumed in Oklahoma, we cannot compare its consumption with that of other states. Period.
Why are you so distressed by these claims that the dries have been making?
My great concern is that the United Dries issue statements that are fabrications, falsehoods, deceptions, distortions of truth, and these statements are taken by well-meaning, sincere and earnest men, clergy and lay, over the state of Oklahoma as being factual. And they state these to their friends, they state them on the radio, television, and people believe them. And these Christian people are being deceived and duped by the United Dries. This means that a whole part of the Christian enterprise in Oklahoma is rapidly receiving a bad name for the dissemination of misstatements, distortions, untruths. And I think it will hurt the whole cause of Christ and his church in this state. And that is my primary and great concern.